welcome to episode 39 of the Link Cable Gaming Podcast. A little bit later than usual, but hopefully everyone will understand I've been sick, and you can probably tell by my voice and my nose all stuffed up, but I still wanted to talk about some stuff this week since we had the pretty big Nintendo Direct. Definitely wanted to go through that.
It's like the post office. It's like rain, sleet, or snow. If a Nintendo Direct happens, we have to talk about it. We can't just be like, we'll skip this. Like, we have to talk about this.
Exactly. So I felt like, well, we can still have a little episode, just be a little bit later. So, Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well. This Monday. It's good. I don't have a whole lot to thing really special today. Just good solid day. Let's talk some Direct.
Good to hear. What's been going on since the last time we talked to you? Any fun gaming, life stories, anything?
I got a couple. So I was on vacation last week. Well, vacation. I went on a little road trip, see some family, and we went thrift shopping. Me and my brother. And for thrift shopping, some people look for like old clothes that they can like fill out their wardrobe with. Oh, maybe some stuff for around the house. I bought games. I bought so many old games. I bought a big stack of them. I wish I had them. They're all on my shelf now, so I kind of had a visual aid here. But I spent about $50, 50 Canadian, so that's like $8 US, I guess. I got a bunch of PS3 games. Like I got Resistance 1, Resistance 2. I played those a long time ago. I really like those. I got Metal Gear Solid 4,
Are these
which
all
I've
from
never
the
played.
same thing or like different shops?
We stopped at two places that were like across the street from each other, essentially the same. All in all, I spent $50, and so I got Metal Gear Solid 4, which I've never played, which I'm really excited to play. I got Warhawk, which I know is awful, but it's kind of like that.
Oh, I remember that game.
That sounds funny. Like it's one of those. I like crappy launch titles. I think they're so funny.
That was that like play with the 6-axis thing game.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, you
that.
had to like move the jet with the
rough.
motion controls. I'm really excited to play that.
That was fun. That was
Little Big Planet. I got Little Big Planet 1, which I'm finally going to give another shot to. I remember when that game came out, I was always like, this is stupid. I don't like this game. But I want to give it another shot. Then over on the Xbox One, I got Rare Replay, which is really good, just value. You get like 30 games. A couple of old NHL games. I think 17 and 18. Those were like $3 each, so I was like, why not throw them in the pile? I got the first Gears of War on Xbox 360, which is pretty cool. Then I also got on PSP, I got Secret Agent Clank on PSP.
I have that game too.
I played that one, so I was excited to get that for the PSP. I got Ratchet and Clank 2016 on PS4 for like $3. All these are in great shape, by the way. I was like, this is like a haul. I got The Witcher 1 on PC. The old like Games for Windows Live version. I think that's it. That's the rundown.
It's a pretty good haul.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I my shelf behind me, like it goes off to the side, is full. Like I cannot put one more disc or game on this thing. So I gotta go like buy a house now just to have more of these.
Just for more gaming stuff. Yeah, my
stuff.
shelf is getting full too, and I don't really know what to do. I just have overfull piles next to it, and it's not working out good.
And like I like to like display it. Like I was like, it's kind of, it looks nice. It's kind of like, hey, this is what you do for a living. Every time I come into this room, and I don't want to like have like a bunch of stuff like in boxes or in crates somewhere. So I gotta figure out a new solution to that. Because I was like, I could get another one of these shelves. I got enough wall that goes in that direction. Right, for the people listening to this, I'm sorry. Imagine a room with a wall. But I'd have to get rid of the couch that's in here, which is kind of the point of having this couch in here. So really good, like just like haul of like older games. I have no idea what I'll start to get. I really want to play Resistance of Man. Played it way back in the day. And it was like, I remember like that was the first PS3 game I played at my friend's house. I remember being like blown away at that game, and like just the graphics and everything. And I was like, I wonder how it holds up 20 years later. like 15 years later or whatever. Yeah, so I got that. So that's one half of things, and then the other half of things I bought. And I'm late to this party, I know, but I bought Ring Fit Adventure on the Switch.
Was that also in your little search at the flea market stuff?
No, I bought that full price.
Okay.
I didn't really want. I can't imagine buying that used after using it for a few days.
No, yeah, that's true.
You got like the strap that goes around like your thigh and stuff, like the ring con, the ring they give you. I'm pushing it in and everything, and I'm like, this thing. How long will this thing last? It's kind of my question.
And you get a black eye because it ricocheted your face.
Yeah, like the thing's got like crazy tension, and I'm like pushing in, and it's like push harder. I'm like, I'm okay. But yeah, I got that. I used to play Wii Fit. Well, I used to use Wii Fit a lot back in the day. It was just kind of like that daily reminder to like, hey, get off your ass and go do something. But Wii Fit never really it never really pushes you. It's kind of like, oh, you walked today. Good job. Ring Fit Adventure, my knees hurt. My like thighs hurt. I've done so many squats in the last 3 days.
You're squatting to fight dragons, though. Come on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the big buff dragon who just wants to work out. I kind of feel bad for him. He just wants to work out. He just wants to like be left alone to like get mad gains. And I'm here. I am running up to him and just kind of like using a ring at him. I've done it for 3 days now, and it's there's muscles you forget you have. Just like they're just like, oh, ouch. Woke up and like my legs were sore, and I was like, all right, you're a pro gamer now. You're all in.
That's too funny. Well, at least you're getting your exercise. You're playing a game. It's all fun and get your money's worth. I been trying to get to a used game store that's out here, and I went about a month or so ago. I probably didn't talk about it in here, but I bought a huge, big haul of games too. A bunch of like, I collect a lot of the old game guides and other random games. And the store, the guy that I was talking to when I was there, he's reopening in a bigger location because everything was in like piles and boxes and stuff, so I couldn't really see everything in there. He's like, oh, we're going to be opening up in like a month, come back. So I called him last week, seeing if he was open yet. He gave me his card. He goes, we're going to be open on Friday. So he just opened this past Saturday, it looks like, from when I talked to him last now. It's a day late, so I'm going to try to go this weekend to try to see what it looks like now. But he had a lot of stuff, like, and he's an older guy who really doesn't know, like, it was him and his son doing it, and his son seemed to be the one that knew pricing. The dad is an older guy.
Oh my God.
He just kept going, the guy
I gotta go to this place.
Oh, it was like, it's insane how much shit they had. Like the dad, I picked up a like sealed Jade Empire guide, and I asked the older guy, and I was like, how much? He's like, oh, $10. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's worth a lot more than that. Then the son came in, and he's like, Dad, why'd you give it to him for $10? And he's like arguing in front of me. He's like, it's worth way more than 10. And the dad's like, well, I already told him, so I got it for $10, and he gave me all these other games for way cheaper than I think there should be charging for. But
so if
there's
and like retro
a lot.
That's my dream. It's closed now, but there was this retro game store near where I used to work in Ottawa. It was like you walked in and like they had a few things on the shelves. Everything was just in bins all over the place, and they were just like you could sit there on the floor for like an hour just being like, oh, I'll like you had a this is my pile of things I want.
It was crazy. They had everything in boxes and piles and stuff. Like it was just like a giant garage sale. It wasn't like a nice, neat like. I've had some of the game stores you go to, and it's like they have all the games in this. They don't really have a lot, and they try to make it look like it's more than they have. Like this guy had so much stuff. He was just like trying to sell some of it just to make space. Like it was insane how much. So I am very excited to go check out his new place.
Yeah, you gotta let us know what like you find there. Those are like gems. I found so many things like behind me there for like guys are just like I don't know $5, $10, and I'm like walking out of there shaking. I'm like I got this thing.
I know, and it's even better when they don't know what it's worth and you do, and it makes you feel so good. You're like I feel like an ass ripping them off, but it takes any idiot to look online for 2 seconds on eBay to see what the price is like.
And that's getting harder too, because like people are savvy, like especially like when it comes to like older games.
Yeah.
A lot of places are like, oh no, this stuff is like in demand. It
Oh,
is
they know.
like
They know.
retro game, as like someone who collects retro games, it's been a big hit on my wallet to try to like
Yeah.
add the things I'm missing out. I'm like, oh, I really want that one. I really want this. I'm like, I use I think it's pricecharting.com, and it's like all the arrows are just going up and up and up, and I'm like,
everything.
oh jeez.
I used to like say, oh, I'm not a big retro gamer and I don't really like it, but as time goes on, and all of a sudden like the N64 PlayStation generation, like that was me. That was, you know, I played games before that, but I like playing them today to me just isn't that exciting. But now as time kind of moved on or generations forward, like the Xbox GameCube generation, like I still think those games are pretty good. I would play those and I want those. And now we're even getting further. It's like Xbox 360 is almost considered retro because it's 2 generations behind. And those games are starting to go up in price, a lot of them, like depending on what it is. Like it's tough to find.
GameCube and well, particularly the GameCube right now is just skyrocketing. And I've got mine right here, and I'm like, these are precious to me. Like
that's how I feel too. It's like same with 3DS. That's the one I've been really trying to find, and like to me, a lot of those games are still like viable things to play. I don't even feel like I'm playing a retro game. I'm feeling I'm playing a game, and it doesn't look bad. But they are so like I'm trying to find. Excuse me, now I keep burping because my pop. Dragon Quest V, which I guess is on the DS, not the 3DS, but it's like $300, $200. Like it's so hard to find anywhere, and I'm pretty sad because I have almost every other game to play through that series, and I'm actually playing them. I just can't find them. But anyways, to segue the fun finding stuff at flea markets, I actually bought 2 games from my searches during that day, but they didn't have cases. And I was like, I want these games, but I really like having the cases. Like the manuals, okay, I'll be okay if I don't have them, but I like to put them on the shelf and kind of display it. And I had the Saints Row, I think it's 4 that comes with Get Out of Hell, like the disc for Xbox One. I think it's that one, right?
I think so, yeah.
And I had the Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. I got both of them, just the disc. I found this place on eBay that sells just game cases, and they actually had both of them, so I got both of them for $10, which
that's really good.
I felt like an idiot. I'm like, I'm paying $10 for cases, but it's like, I really don't want to buy the games again. So I'm still saving a lot of money overall, but so I got those today in the mail, and I put them on I just felt so good to put them in the shelf and be like, there we go, it's looking good.
I have spent, here, I'll make you feel better. I've spent an inordinate amount of cash on empty cardboard boxes. I know there's like a few, like mostly Game Boy games behind me. Yeah. I did not always have the boxes for these. They got them after. I think the one I paid, and this is like a full console box, but I have a box for the NES, like it came with like, this was the bundle that everyone had, kind of the Zapper, the 2 controllers, Mario. I paid $100 for that thing.
Wow.
And I paid extra for it because you could probably, well, this was a few years ago, but you could probably find in those boxes 60, and this is Canadian, so like 60 or like 70. But this one had the original foam insert. I paid more to get that, and hey, don't feel $10 for a game box is pretty good.
It felt bad, but after I got it, I was pretty excited. And then outside of buying stuff, I've been playing probably the same game I was playing last week. This game Elix, and I can't stop playing this stupid game. I can admit that the game is not perfect. There's a lot of things wrong with it, but I don't know if you or any of the listeners listening to this have ever touched this game, but I highly recommend picking this up and just playing it. You gotta see through the jank and just play it because the story's really cool, and it's just such a very old school type of game with modern graphics and refresh rates and all that. It looks good, plays weird, but it's just so much fun. It's one of those games where it's like there's a lot of different things. It's like decision based, and there's all these different outcomes. So it's a game you're constantly quick saving to do something, see if you like what happens, or reload your save and try again. Like that's what takes me so long in this game. Like it says I have like 12 hours. I bet you I have way more than that because I'm constantly reloading saves because I'm like, I don't really like how this played out. I want to do this better. And it's cheating, kind of, but I love it.
Is this an older game, or is it
2017?
brand new?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking of something else. I have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's I never heard of this game up until I bought this at a used game store about back in February or March of this year, and had never heard of it. I just saw it was like $6 or $7 on the Xbox One. Picked it up and just started playing it recently. And the only reason why I started playing it was because the second one just got announced like a couple weeks ago, I think, pretty recently.
Well, that's where I'm thinking about it. It was at the THQ thing.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah,
yeah,
Elix
that's
2
okay.
is coming out
All
this year. And Elix 2, everyone keeps talking about that game because they've let a lot of people play it ahead of time, like streamers. And it looks a lot like the first one. They just said it's just more of the first one, which people are like, oh, we want this to be better and all this. And they've improved some things, but I'm totally okay with it being the same game because, like, I've explored like the whole world they have already, and I'm like, I can't believe like, it just feels like a game where it's like you kind of know where everything's at 'cause you go so many times and you just start to feel so familiar, and it just, I don't know, man, you got to try this game. It's super underrated.
Oh, I wrote it down just now because I was like, yeah, you've sold
It's so good.
They showed it at the THQ thing. I was like, that looks interesting, but it has a 2 at the end of it, so I was like, I don't really know what it is.
Yeah,
a sequel
the first
of.
one, it was on sale on the Xbox Marketplace for like $12 or something right now. I don't know. I don't know if it's still on sale, but it was on sale on Steam for like $8. So it goes pretty cheap. They give it out for free and like combo bundles and stuff too. Because it's an older game, it didn't like review great.
Yeah.
But,
And THQ, I mean, the secret with THQ games is unless you really, really want them, they'll go on sale. They always go on sale.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like a THQ, and then it's like Piranha Bytes, which I think made Risen and like the Risen series games.
Oh wow, okay.
So
yeah.
they're like sketchy-ish games that are not like perfect, but they have a pretty decent story, and you can tell there's a lot of heart in the game. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but like technically it's tough, but there's just so much like you can tell they really put passion into it. Like it's not like a made for everybody game. Like this is made for people who like this kind of stuff. Like it's hard to even explain it, but like I was talking to my buddy how we both played what is the motorcycle zombie game? What is that game called?
Cycle zombie game.
Motorcycle. The guy is oh my god, why can't I think of this game? I just played it and I finished it. You got a motorcycle. Oh,
got nothing.
what is
I
this?
got
The
nothing.
PlayStation game. Why can't I think of this?
Oh, Days
game?
Gone.
Days Gone. Yeah. Oh my god.
See, I was
losing
thinking.
my mind.
I was thinking of a zombie on a motorcycle.
Oh
have
no,
idea.
I totally threw you off there.
It's
So
like
we-
Stubbs the zombie. Like I don't know.
Excuse me. So we both played that game and we really liked it, but that is definitely a game that's made to please everybody, right? Like it's a big AAA game that's supposed to make everybody want to play it. But what was bad about that game is the world was so cool to look around, but there was nothing in it. Like you'd find like the same 6 items that were all just spare parts, and that was it. It wasn't like you found extra things. It wasn't anything important. It was just generic. This game, you're actually finding things that make a difference. So you walk around, you're finding random things hidden, kind of like in Morrowind or Oblivion or Skyrim, where it's like you could walk around and actually find stuff in the world that made a difference. Like I found these glasses that helped me see all these items, and then I was able to find a secret sword that I never would have found if I didn't have the sunglasses on. And then the sword is worth a lot, and then a guy in town is talking about it, and they were saying, oh, it might be able to be found, and I'm like, oh, wait, I found this, and it was just like a coincidence. So all this stuff it just has a reasoning. So I don't know. I recommend everyone go play this game. It's very unique. It's tough too. It's not an easy game. Like it's tough.
They have sold me on it. Like Fit Adventure. Don't get me wrong. It's a whole lot of fun, and I feel healthier a little.
If you go play some Elix, talk about it with me next week. Nobody's played this game, and I have no one to talk to about it, and it is just so freaking good. So that'll be your homework. Go find this game somehow cheap, and then just play it, because I just need to talk about it with somebody because it's so unique. Okay, on that note, as I keep coughing and burping and snuffing my nose, I'm so sorry, everyone. We are here to actually talk about the Nintendo Direct that happened on Thursday. Was it Thursday?
Thursday. Yep.
Thursday. Wow, that was not even that long ago. I kept thinking it was further. Yeah, because they randomly came out on Tuesday and said it was happening on Thursday? It was 2 days ahead of time?
Yeah, they did it right in the middle of me, was like I said earlier, I was traveling,
yeah, okay,
announce it, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to watch it live, and I hate going on Twitter and just being like, oh, they're gonna do another Smash Brothers or something. I wanted to see the reveal as it was meant to be revealed.
I thought for sure they were gonna do the Smash Bros. Character.
It's a good place to start, I guess.
We'll get into it.
Or yeah.
I guess what's
the very...
Here, you go. You go first, and you do this. It's so hard both of us trying to do it.
Like, the whole, like, day traveling back, I'm driving down the highway, and it's, like, a 7-hour drive, and I'm just, like, just get home, I'm safe, I'm gonna eat, and watch the direct. And, like, I didn't end up watching it till, like, 10 p.m. that night. I'm half asleep.
Did you avoid all spoilers up to that point about it?
I avoided everything. The one problem was when I went on YouTube to pull it up, I saw a thumbnail for one of the things, and I was like, "Oh, right, Nintendo 64," which was not a. I wasn't like blown away by that. I was like, "Oh, that was fairly expected." So, yeah, I mostly was pretty successful.
Okay. I'm trying to pull the right article. I go to click on Nintendo Direct, and I accidentally click on. In 1998, the San Francisco men got a tattoo to snake free tacos for life. And then instead of like unclicking it by accident, I start reading it because I'm like, "Ooh, that's interesting." Trying to stay focused.
No, tell us more. What's this?
I don't know. Apparently, back in the day, they had a tattoo you could get. You get unlimited tacos by getting the tattoo. It's a promotional stunt. I would definitely have gotten that tattoo.
I think I would.
Cool tattoo too.
I would be too afraid of the taco place going out of business.
I wonder if that's what happened because I closed it.
It's not like a Taco Bell or something. Like, I would be too afraid of, like, all right, tacos for life. I've got their name like tattooed on my arm or something. Then like a year later, they're like, "Oh man, sorry, we're gone. We don't exist anymore." And you're like, "Well, got this tattoo of this taco place that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
I was gonna get free tacos for life."
It's kind of an okay tattoo as well. It's not even that. It's like a little Mexican guy on a corn, and the owner, Casa Sanchez, picked it out what they wanted. So I don't know. All right. Anyways,
okay, well,
Nintendo Direct.
Nintendo Direct.
So on the list, I don't know if I'm looking at the one from Polygon, and it starts us off here with it does start talking about Animal Crossing, which is kind of like the biggest, not the most exciting part about it, because all they said was there's stuff coming, and then there's a thing happening in October. So
they're gonna do a Direct in October. It is like, I don't know. Did you play a lot of Animal Crossing?
I watched my wife play enough for both of us.
Right. I put about 150 hours into it, which is
You're just so really casual about that. Like 150. Well, I have like less than that in Persona, and I'm just like, I can't believe how many hours I played this. You just casually throw out 150.
150, but it's a. Sorry, I'm gonna try and get my camera to focus. But it was like really casual 150. Like, it was 150 while I was watching YouTube, basically, because I just had it on the side or whatever.
Fair.
But that's on the low end for me for Animal Crossing. Like, I did not, after like the summer it came out, I was basically done with it. And I haven't really gone back to it, because there's just not a lot to do. Like, there's really no like pull getting you back into it.
No, there's not. I've watched my wife slowly fade off of it because of, like, after a while you do everything and then that's it. Like, you can design new stuff, you can get a couple new items here or there, but like, they're not adding new features, they're not adding new, like, Nintendo, what are you doing? You literally could be adding entire sections of this game or expanding, like, why can't the shop get bigger? Or why can't, like, just all you have to do is just dangle that carrot out a little bit further and then have these people keep doing stuff. And these people will be buying and playing this game. People will buy DLC for this game just to keep it going, and you're not doing anything.
It's their best-selling game on Switch, other than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is a port.
Right.
Their second best-selling, like, if you want to be technical about it, it's their second best-selling game on Switch. All the DLC has been free up to this point. They're not. Kind of feels like it would be perfect for an expansion, which I know Animal Crossing has never really done before. Like, they did on the 3DS, they added the campground, which was like, like they added it like 3 years later, so maybe there's precedent, I guess. But yeah, it was like, I'm excited that there's something else. I just hope it's worth it. I hope it's not like, oh, we added new like flippers or like flip flops and chairs and stuff. Like,
yeah.
I mean, give me real meaty content. I'm hopeful that I am actually hopeful that that's the case, because this wasn't in the Direct, but it was announced after that they're going to release a new series of amiibo cards. So Animal Crossing got like like I think 4 sets of amiibo cards. There's like
Mhm.
400 of them. And those were coming out like when the game was new, even before the game, because they were part of Amiibo Festival. But anyway, announced a brand new set. There's going to be a 5th set, which I'm like, oh, new villagers or villagers that aren't in the game are going to be added into it.
Nice.
So I'm a little. Part of me is hopeful that it'll be big enough. I just don't know if it'll be. I don't know if it's. I don't really know how much they would need to add for me to be like, I am grabbing Animal Crossing and I'm getting back into this. Because it's been a few months. Pokemon's coming out, which is also another investment type game. Like you're going to put time into it.
Oh yeah.
Like Pokemon comes out, and then a few months later, Pokemon comes out.
Which is crazy that that's coming out so soon. I still can't believe that game comes out in January.
That's
Arceus
nuts.
or whatever.
Like it's gonna take a lot to get me back into Animal Crossing. So I'm excited for another direct. It was kind of an announcement of an announcement, but
okay. Next up, I have is something I don't know what it is, nor do I even know how to say it, but Actraiser Renaissance. Is that?
I can talk about this.
I feel like I knew you were gonna say like you know all about this, but I don't even know what it is or anything. So explain this in a way that I can understand it.
Actraiser. Actraiser was a Super Nintendo game made by Enix. So before Square Enix, they were just Enix. And it's this really strange little game where it's kind of split into 2. So there's levels that are just kind of your normal 2D action, like almost like a Castlevania thing. So you're this guy with a sword. You're going around. You're fighting bosses. And it's basically medieval Castlevania. So that's half the game. The other half of the game is a city builder where you play as an angel. And it's kind of like a god game where you're like kind of like, oh, like I'll build like it's like Sim City, but like more like just kind of directing the flow of your people versus like actually like being like go here and build this. And so by building up your settlement, basically the people pray to whatever god is in the game, and your fighter character gets boosted.
Game I've ever heard of. I have no idea. I'm like, even listening to you and reading something about it, I'm like, what the hell is this thing?
Well, so Actraiser Renaissance, the new one, is a remake of Actraiser 1. So if you're confused at all, just go play it. It's out now.
I mean, is this a good game? Did you like it?
I love like on Super Nintendo. I love this game. I haven't played the new one yet.
It looks pretty cool.
I haven't
like it's like a remake kind of sort of then.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's a straight up remake, like expanded a little bit, but it's a remake. I haven't decided yet whether to get it on Switch or on PS4.
Oh, okay. So it's on PS4 as well.
Just from the trailer, it showed it looked a little chuggy on Switch.
That's what I'm seeing. Like, some people are saying. It looks like it's on Steam as well.
So yeah, that's an option too.
Huh.
Yeah, like Actraiser 1 is a really, really good game. I keep saying Actraiser 1 because there is an Actraiser 2 on Super Nintendo.
Okay.
That is, it gets, so that one, you should understand this one, because Actraiser 2 is only the fighting style, like only the side-scrolling. They get rid of the God game part of it. They were like, this is too weird, no one will like this. So Actraiser 2 is basically just fantasy Castlevania. Sword instead of a whip. So,
I mean,
yeah,
this doesn't look that bad. It looks kind of neat. $30 though, pretty steep, I feel like. US $30.
Yeah, I think it's 40 here. Like I was really excited. I thought Actraiser was this thing that like they had just forgotten about. They were like, whatever. This was.
Well, I never even heard of it, so they did a good job.
There you go. Yeah. This is the Super Nintendo game that no one ever really heard of. It has probably though like one of the best soundtracks of the era. Like, bar none. It's like right up there with like. Thinking like Final Fantasy 3, Chrono Trigger, like for RPGs. Wow. In terms of like, listen to the soundtrack when you get a chance. Like, it's so good. It is so good. They even made a point of it in Direct, being like, you can listen to the original soundtrack or a remixed version of it. So yeah, Actraiser, it was a highlight for me for sure.
Okay, well, we'll check that out. It does look pretty fun. I definitely want to watch some videos on it and see. then that came out that same day, which was nice. And then to follow the train with that, Castlevania Advanced Collection is out today as well. I don't know. I'm not a huge Castlevania guy. Not saying I like it or don't like it, but I don't know. There's a lot of in my mind. Castlevania just has like all kinds of games, and I don't really know which ones are the ones you should play or not play. And I had two on the DS, and that was the ones I played. I think it was Portrait of Ruin was the one I played. I think that's in the DS. Is that the right one?
I think you're right. I don't remember the exact titles. The only one I know for sure is on DS is Order of Ecclesia, which was the last one.
Okay, there's 3 on the DS. Wow, more than I knew.
There's 3 on
Castlevania
the DS.
Dawn of Sorrow. I have that one, and I have Portrait of Ruin, and I played both of them a little bit. I never even finished it, but that's my Castlevania knowledge, and then what I've seen of the anime on Netflix.
I know these games quite well. These are like the DS and Game Boy Advance Castlevania games. I think are the best Castlevania games as an era. Like Symphony of the Night is a better game, but it's kind of alone. Like all the Castlevania games around it are hit or miss type thing. Like on the Game Boy Advance, it was like hit. Like these are amazing games. Have more RPG elements. Like maybe you remember because they kind of continued it on the DS. Like they have more of an RPG, like leveling up mechanic, especially for like your abilities and stuff. But yeah, no, like Castlevania Advance Collection, it leaked before the Direct. Like everyone knew it was rated in like half a dozen countries, so everyone knew it was coming. And they added Dracula X to it, which was not on the Super Nintendo game.
Is this something you're gonna be getting?
I'm gonna wait for a physical copy of these ones.
Okay.
Because this is the second Castlevania collection that's come to Switch, and the first one did end up getting a physical copy. But it is a good deal.
Collection on the Switch.
Yeah, because Castlevania got the anniversary collection, which I think is just Castlevania 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. It's the old the 8-bit ones, which they're fine. But this is actually a really good deal because if you wanted to go out and get these Game Boy Advance games like on original hardware, you're spending like $150 a pop.
Oh, I bet.
Like these games are hard to find, so it's really cool that they decided to bring them back in a more accessible way.
Talk to me when the DS ones get remade, then we'll talk.
This collection. I'm trying to get my camera to focus it. Wants to look at the games, not me. I don't really get it.
I was like, what titles you got back there? Looks like then we talked about Metroid Dread, which we don't really have to say much about since we've seen this
it's out in 2 weeks.
1,000 times. It's coming out soon. Drops the same day as the Switch OLED. Kind of showed that off. I'm a little bit on the fence about it if I want to get it or not. I'm basing
OLED?
No, well that I already pre-ordered. I'm pretty sure I'm keeping that just because I just feel like I have to, and I don't know why.
Are you about to tell me you're on the fence about Metroid Dread?
Yes.
That's not okay. You need to get Metroid Dread.
Okay, here's my reasoning for this. I've never been a Metroid guy in the 2D world, right? And the only Metroid game that I've kind of played is the one on the 3DS that came out in like 2017, which is like a remake of something that again I don't know about. It's so freaking hard. I tried to play it. I was sick this whole past weekend, and I was laying in bed, and my Switch was downstairs. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go get it, and my wife's already sleeping. I'm like, I feel like crap, so I'm like, what do I got up here? I'm like, I can play on my phone. I have my iPad, but it's already almost dead. I'm like, oh, my 3DS is in my drawer. So I pick up my 3DS. I'm like, what do I got? And the Metroid Samus whatever game I have in there. So I turn it back on, and I played this thing for about 45 minutes. The same exact part, couldn't beat it, and I just gave up. It's the same thing I did last time I played it. It's so hard. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like it is just, it's not even fun.
I think I had this problem with Samus Returns when it first came out. I don't think it's a problem with the game. I think it's a problem with the 3DS. I think the 3DS is not.
Is that what you're about to say?
No, it's you, Kevin. It's you specifically. I think it's the 3DS. Like I think the 3DS isn't made for fast 2D games very well.
It was tough.
It's a tough game. It is not.
I like it. I mean, I like the game. I want to play it more, but it's another one of those things that's just so hard. I can't do it, and it might just be me. I don't know if I'm making excuses, but like the stop and then aim kind of thing, I think the enemies need to be a little bit easier if that's the functionality, because I'm just getting my ass kicked. But it looks cool. I liked the maps on the second screen. Like, I love that in like any game on a 3DS.
Oh.
I think Samus
That's
is
something
cool.
that's really...
She's neat. I just am not good at it. So I'm scared Dread's gonna be this difficult, and I'm gonna just spend the money and then I'll be pissed I have it. Then again, I can just get it. They'll stop making physical copies of it, and I'll sell it for more money later. Which seems to be the common theme.
It is made by the same developers. Like Mercury Steam is the one making it, and in style from the trailer, it does look like it'll have the kind of like parry move and everything. So like it'll probably play a lot like Samus Returns, but you could play it with a pro controller. Like, to me, that sounds like so amazing.
That is kind of what I'm thinking of, because there's 2 thumbsticks now instead of like just using one and then using aim. Because the nub didn't even work with it, which I was kind of sad, because if I could use a little nub on it, I would have probably liked it a little better. But I don't know. I'm on the fence. I think I've got Metroid Dread pre-ordered. I can't remember. I gotta check on that. I always pre-order stuff at Best Buy, and then sometimes I get a deal on Amazon. I just pre-order it, and I'm like, oh, I'll just cancel it later if it happens now. And then I forget, and sometimes I get 2 pre-orders coming in. So I gotta watch that a little better, because
to everyone else, as a super diehard Metroid fan, it is so great to see that we're actually getting a new Metroid game. So please buy it, so Nintendo keeps making more.
I just hate games that it's so hard. After like years of trying, I still can't beat it. Like, I get so upset, and because it's like I just feel like a game that I want to finish and I just physically can't, and I feel mad. There's another game that's like that, the Pokemon, the 3DS Mystery Dungeon, something.
Oh yeah, those ones.
Super. You know what? I think it's Super Mystery Dungeon I have, and I'm so stuck. I go back to that game like every 2 years, and I still can't beat it.
You know what might be good for you as like kind of like here's your homework. On Switch, if you have Switch Online, Super Metroid is on there.
Okay.
And I wouldn't recommend playing Metroid 1. Metroid 1 is very old. It's on there too if you want, but Super Metroid it's like what Metroid has been built off of since 1994. If you kind of like want to like start from like to build up to it, it's like that's an amazing place to start. It's one of the greatest games of all time. Like, there's no...
See, it's so hard, because I think when I played Metroid Prime on the GameCube, and that just like ruined it for me, because I never
very different.
It is, but that's just how I think of Metroid now, and like as soon as you play something differently, that's how I think it should be made, because it's just so good. That game was so much fun. All I wanted to, that was the one thing I wish that they would have announced in this thing, was the Metroid Prime trilogy to come out on the Switch. That would have made me way happier than anything else that we had heard. Same thing with like Star Fox. As soon as Star Fox Adventures came out, I'm done flying ships with that guy. Like, Fox belongs on the ground with a staff. Like, that's just how it's supposed to be. I don't want to fly around anymore.
Heard it here first and only. No one else will agree with you.
Oh, it was my favorite. I'm so upset.
I really like Star Fox Adventures.
I love.
Really like Star Fox 64 too. Yeah, no Star Fox at this one.
Anyways, okay, I'm getting sidetracked as I'm like going on eBay to see how much Metroid Samus Returns is on 3DS, if I could sell it for more. But I know I won't actually sell it. I just want to feel good about it. Anyways, so then we talked about Project Triangle Strategy, but they got rid of the project and they're just calling it Triangle Strategy, I guess. Which I don't know if that's the actual name or that's still TBD. Wait, that's really going to be the name? Did they say that?
Well, they did the same trick with Octopath Traveler. It was always Project Octopath Traveler, and then they were just like, it's just Octopath Traveler. Same people making it.
Again, why did they change something that's good? Octopath Traveler was such a good freaking game, and now we're going to make this difficult Fire Emblem type shit. I don't want it. I just want Octopath Traveler 2 or more of it. I love the way the game looks. I love everything about it, but I'm not a big fan of like tactics type stuff. I keep trying to get into Fire Emblem on my Switch. I just can't do it.
You're not gonna get this game. Don't get this game. I played the demo. There's a demo on Switch.
I played the demo too. I didn't finish it. I didn't like it.
Yeah, it is a brutally hard demo. Like, they said in the direct that they were like, "Oh, we're like tweaking the difficulty," and I was like, "Thank you," because like I struggled with that. There's a preview of it over on linkkablegaming.com.
I played the demo for probably 5 or 6 minutes, and it did not go very good.
Oh, I played it for like 3 or 4 hours, and I was mad. It's a very brutally hard game. It's inspired by Final Fantasy Tactics, which was never really easy.
Which I didn't.
More than Fire, like way more than Fire Emblem. Yeah, they're both strategy RPGs, but Fire Emblem and Final Fantasy Tactics are completely different things. And it was. I want to be more excited for it for Triangle Strategy than I am. It just that demo really put a bad taste in my mouth. Like I was like, this game is just.
Are they re-releasing a demo to make it more updated or what?
Well, it comes out. No, I don't think they are because it comes out in like a few months. It comes out in like February.
Wow, that's
it. Yeah, I think so. It comes out in February. I've also got the article, but I can got my own.
Okay, where we get then next while you're looking at Triangle Strategy, which I guess is the name, which is still
March 4th.
Okay, that's still pretty soon. We got Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which came out, which I think this was my favorite thing that was announced. The game really threw me for a loop because I thought it looked like that Nier game.
It looked like Nier Automata.
And I thought it was the only one, but then all of a sudden I started seeing memes online about it, and I was like, okay, I wasn't the only one thinking that's what that was. And all of a sudden Kirby came out, and I was like, jaw hit the floor, and then he starts moving forward and backwards in a 3D plane. It blew my mind, and I cannot freaking wait because, you know what, Mario Odyssey, that game is not as good as this game is going to be because, you know what, Mario sucks in a totally different way than what Kirby does. And I can't wait. So
I heard it here. This is a very combative podcast. We're here for
like,
Star Fox Adventures is the best Star Fox game, and Mario sucks.
Guys, bear with me. I'm on a lot of like decongestants right now that are making me just very angry. No, this game just looks badass. I think this is going to be so much fun. I only hope, and please Nintendo, hear me somehow, do not make this a game for toddlers. Like, I just want this to be a little bit challenging. It doesn't have to be a hard game, but I'm always complaining on this podcast about how games are too hard sometimes. Please don't make this game too easy.
Well, and that's been a problem with Kirby games over the last
bad.
Forever.
I just get so tired of these. Like, I want to look at the title and see if it was made by Fisher Price. Like, it's so simple. It's like I played the Planet Robot whatever Kirby game. I beat it in like 3 hours or something silly. It was so easy, no struggle at all. It was a fun game to just sit through and play because you played on a road trip. But like, there wasn't any challenge. It was just like watching a movie. It wasn't even like I was playing a game.
And it was like, Kirby games. I don't think they should be hard as like concept, but they should have challenge and like they've gotten like trying to think back to the last Kirby game that like made me sweat, and I'm like, oh wow, it was Superstar on the Super Nintendo.
I couldn't even like Kirby 64, or was it called Kirby 64? Yeah, that was the one I remember. It wasn't hard, but that's the challenges to it because you could mix and match the powers, which I thought was so cool. I remember that game being decently challenging. Another Kirby game that the GameCube was weird because it took like everything and made it different, and I loved every piece of it. Kirby Air Ride was just such a fun game, and I still don't know why we haven't gone back to that. Like, why did we make this great franchise and then just kill it off? Like,
do you know who the lead designer of Kirby Air Ride was?
I feel like I learned this and I don't remember.
Gaming History Corner. It's Masahiro Sakurai. And ever since that game came out, Nintendo's been like, make Smash Brothers and only make Smash Brothers.
Oh,
you can't make it.
I did not know that.
He took a detour to make Kid Icarus Uprising, and yeah. So Kirby Air Ride, like I'm sure they could make another Kirby racing game, but it is like the lead designer of it was Masahiro Sakurai.
Right, it is. I did not know that. You know, I wonder if it kind of. And it's interesting because the next thing we're going to talk about also is about this, but I wonder if it crossed lanes too much, and Nintendo's like, we already have a racer, we don't want to have too many racers out there, then it splits the audience, you know?
I mean, Nintendo says that about F-Zero, so I'm certain that's like
Yeah,
we
you're
have
right.
Mario Kart. We couldn't possibly give you F-Zero.
All right, well, this again leads into our next story because the next game that Nintendo put on their Direct was Chocobo GP, which is a racing game, which really threw me off because I did not think they'd have a featured racing game when their biggest selling title is a racing game on the Switch, because I feel like that's not perfect. So I don't know about that.
I think isn't Chocobo GP coming out on PS4?
That I don't know. I didn't actually check to see if any of these were coming out on other consoles.
No, I know a couple are.
It would make sense since it's a Square game.
I mean, looked so okay. I have two things to say about it. It visually, it looked bad. Graphics looked last gen.
It looked rough for sure.
So I was like, okay, maybe, and I mean, like, it's, who knows when it's coming out? Maybe
I can
it's
agree with you on that.
down the road. I liked. They showed an upgrade path where it was like, oh, if you pick up 3 fire things, you'll do fire, Faraga, and whatever they're called. And you upgrade your weapons as you kind of go along. And I was like, oh, just like in Diddy Kong Racing, the best racing game on the Nintendo 64.
That was the best racing game, period. Sorry, folks. Best game ever. Go on,
Diddy Kong
sorry.
Racing. But like that was because that was a thing you could do in Diddy Kong Racing is you like you got a missile and then you got before using it got another missile. Oh, you got 10 missiles now. It was or like a homing. I don't remember. I just noticed it. It's right there. It was such a cool like thing because there's strategy to it. Like in Mario Kart, your strategy is if you're in first place, hold on to an item if you have it until something happens. But in Diddy Kong Racing, you could be like, oh, like I'm way far behind, I'm getting the same items as everyone else, so I can like stack them and have a stronger version. I kind of hope that's the case with this Chocobo GP thing. Other than that, it didn't leave an impression with me.
No, it
was just.
Excuse me. It does look fun, like the way you upgraded stuff we were talking about, but otherwise it'll be come and go in my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still watching videos of Kirby Air Ride as we're talking right now, so I don't even care about Chocobo. I just want Kirby Air Ride back. I'm watching a video of Kirby Air Ride in 4K on the Dolphin emulator. I'm going, oh shit, this game looks good. Like I just have no interest in Chocobo racing because I don't care that much. But sure.
And it's not like because they had done Chocobo racing games like way back when on like the PS1, but this looks like you're in like parts. Like it's not the same kind. Because I think the original Chocobo racing was you were on Chocobos and you were.
That would make sense. I don't know. This looks okay. If this game was free and microtransactions, I feel like it'd be a better win for everybody. But I feel this is gonna be what $40, $50, $60.
It's a Square Enix Final Fantasy game. Of course it is.
I don't know. Okay, moving on. Disco Elysium Final Cut. I don't have tons to say. This game came out a while ago. We've talked about it before, I'm sure. It's supposed to be really good. Just something I haven't touched before, but maybe we'll touch later. Who knows? Passing up on that, we have Voice of Cards, The Isle of Dragon Roars. I don't know anything about this. Do you have anything to say about this?
Yeah, so there's a demo out for it right now, and it comes out next month. So I'm working on a preview, so I'll have a full preview up on linkcablegaming.com shortly. But I didn't like because when I first saw the trailer in the direct, I was like, oh, card battles, not for me. No, this game's for me. I really like this. Like it's
so is it just
fun.
a card battle? I don't really know what it is.
Oh, it's okay. So like ActRaiser, fill in because this is a weird explanation. So the world is like the layout of cards on a table is the world, and as you progress, you're flipping the cards. They're all face down. And you're flipping the cards to kind of see where you're going. So you could be like, oh, I found an item shop under this card, so I can go to the item shop. Or, oh, no, I found a monster. I got to fight it. And the fights have a random element to it, which I don't really love, because then it's like... I don't like not having all that control for it. But it's really well done. It's really nicely paced. It's a really... actually, like, does remind me of Octopath Traveler in the pacing of it all. Like Octopath Traveler is a very slow-paced game. It's a lot of narrative. It's a lot of just kind of being in that world and just kind of figuring out where to go next. It is kind of like that.
So maybe I should check this out then.
Yeah, there's a demo on Switch. I think the director is Yoko Taro, which he does the Nier series. So expect a lot of dark sadness at some point. But in the demo, it's pretty jolly. But it's I didn't think this game would be anything to me, and it's like no, it's up there. It comes out next month, and I think it's only like $20 or something. So
okay,
it's gonna
this
be like
looks
a big
promising now. No, we're talking about $20. I like that. $20 for a game it kind of makes or break it. Like the price point of a game, my expectations completely change, and I feel like I enjoy it better.
I'm looking up the price now because I'm like, said that thinking like I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but now I'm like, wait, did I just lie to everyone? $29.99 US, so $30. Not too bad.
No, not at all. All right, moving on. We've got and of course I'm stuck on Chocobo Racing.
Can't get enough Chocobo Racing.
There we go. Then we talked about. Again, this might not be the right order, so just bear with me. Splatoon 3. I don't have anything to say about this. We saw some about it. It looks just like more Splatoon. I honestly it's hard to say why we have a sequel to it and not just more DLC. But like, if you showed me gameplay of 3, which they did, and you said, "Oh, that's Splatoon 2 or Splatoon 1," I would have just been like, "Oh yeah, okay." Like, what makes this any different? Like maybe like they have a campaign I think now, which is I guess the other ones had campaigns also, but they were small. I just don't know why we need this.
Oh, you're taking the words right out of my mouth. Like it was strange when they announced that Splatoon 3 was going to come to Switch because it was like, why do we need another Splatoon game on Switch in the first place? And then they showed this, and I still don't get why we need another Splatoon game on Switch. I love Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2 is, I think, my second or third most played Switch game. Like, it's well over 150 hours, casually. 150 hours.
Casually.
Casually, whatever.
I just don't. I'm looking at the video of it again, and I just don't see what's different. Like, they just have new weapons. Like, it looks like the same engine. It looks like the same everything else. It's just new maps and some new weapons.
They didn't do a great job of like selling why this is different. Coming next year, so it's the kind of game I feel like needs its own direct. Tell us what's
I don't know.
Tell us what's. I got this whole thing about like the return of the mammalians, and I was like, okay, but what is that?
What's a mammalian?
How
can it be returning if we've never seen it? I don't know.
Splatoon 3 was weird.
That was that. Then, probably the biggest issue news, I would say. Actually, there's two big things. One big thing I didn't care about, one big thing I did kind of care about. So I'll talk about one big thing first. Mr. Miyamoto showed up on screen. And I think this was, they thought they were going to drop the mic moment with this because it was something that I don't think people were expecting. Which I wasn't.
I wasn't expecting it.
I wasn't expecting it. I knew it was happening, but I didn't know what was going on with it. And he came out and released the cast of the new Mario movie. And boy, is it a wild ride of people, I'll tell you what.
It's so funny because they started off with Mario is Chris Pratt, or Chris Pratt is Mario.
Which is bizarre. Like, I don't know.
Makes no sense to me in my mind. Like, I've heard Mario speak since 1996.
And I've been watching Chris Pratt through Parks and Rec and Guardians of the Galaxy, but I have no idea how that's going to be a thing.
Then after that, all the other people, like, is it just me or, like, they had the most off-the-wall, crazy choice to begin with. And then after that, it was like, oh, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. Like, Charlie Day as Luigi is perfect.
That is perfect. That one.
Like, knocked out of the park.
I love Charlie Day, so
he's great.
I feel pretty good about that. Why can't I find a list of the rest? The lady that plays Peach, isn't she from that chess game or chess series?
Yeah, she's I can't remember her name right now, but she was in
I can't find the list of it all.
Queen's Gambit.
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, she's great in Queen's Gambit. And I mean, Peach is such a blank slate. Like Peach has no personality in the game, so like you could do anything. That's great. Charlie Day's Luigi. Jack Black is Bowser, which
Yep.
makes sense.
I
Sure.
mean, yeah, Jack Black's amazing. I've never been unhappy about him being anything. So
Yeah. You know Bowser. Like I can't wait to see Bowser now. I'm like, all right, let's go.
this one is odd though. Keegan Michael Key is Toad. Like Toad really doesn't have much emotions. It's just basically like Peach's slaves. Like I don't really know what Toad is. I love Keegan Michael Key because he's a Detroiter and he loves Detroit and worships it. So that always makes me feel good about that. But I don't know what he's gonna do for Toad because that's a little weird. Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong.
It makes like it.
Okay.
It makes sense, but it's also like not excited for it. Like I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Makes sense.
yeah, okay, yeah, makes sense. Sure. Fred Armistein as Cranky Kong, which is weird.
That
That,
I'm
like he's even
really excited for. I really
in the movie.
like. So much you can do with Cranky Kong, especially if they like really lean into like Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong, Cranky Kong, where he's super like sarcastic about. I don't know. I'm really excited. And I love Fred Armisen. Great.
And then I don't know this Kevin Michael Richardson. Who's this?
I don't know.
Never heard of this guy. He does a lot of cartoons. It looks like, but I have no idea who he is. He's gonna be the voice of Kamek, who isn't Kamek the witch on the broom?
He's a Magic Koopa, yeah.
Oh, I always thought it was a chick. Or maybe it is, and they're just swapping. I don't know.
Oh, I don't think they've been very.
Oh, he's also
like-
in. He's in The Last Airbender too. This guy. Okay, now I like him. And then finally, Sebastian. I know this guy's name. Maniscalco. How do you say it? I always say this guy's name wrong. This guy's freaking hysterical, and he's gonna be the voice of Spike, which I don't really know who's gonna big part.
Hey, I would be.
I can't remember this guy's name. I want to go see him though. He's a funny comedian.
Spike is such an interesting character to pull from because he was in one game on the NES. Like he was on Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, like, well, what is this movie gonna be? Like, is this kind of like a
Yeah.
Sonic thing where it's like it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it also has like undertones that are serious, or is it gonna be like a complete serious like? I mean, with Chris Pratt as the lead, it's got to be funny. Like unless he's in a war movie or something, it ain't gonna be that serious, right?
Like cast.
And it's got to be. It's a kids movie. It's a family movie too.
I really hope it's. Like, Sonic the Hedgehog movie was good. I thought it was. It's not like I'm not gonna get a tattoo about it, but like it was good. I really hope they channel some of the energy they did for Detective Pikachu. I really like Detective Pikachu as a movie. This could be really good. It could be really weird. It could be really bad, absolutely. But like, and also like Nintendo is putting so much control over this. It's got to be good. It's got to be good.
I don't know. We got a release date that was 2022 holiday, so next Christmas basically. December time frame.
At the very least, it will probably be better than the 1993 Mario Brothers movie.
I mean, I would hope so because that movie was terrifying.
Yeah, terrifying. Yeah, but like, honestly, one of my favorite like guilty pleasure movies. I love watching that movie now. It's so bad. It's so horrible.
It's freaky.
Just love it. Hey, Luigi!
It's just so bad. I don't know why people wanted to see that. I remember seeing that as a kid, being like, "What the hell's this?"
She gets stabbed in the thigh. It's horrifying, but so friggin' funny.
All right, so there was one other thing. I'll save the big one to the end, but I mean, this one might be big for you, but it wasn't exciting for me. They showed the perfect time for a cough. A trailer for Bayonetta 3, which I'm not like I don't hate Bayonetta. I don't love it. It was just like, okay, this is cool. It was kind of sad that was kind of like the last thing we looked at because it was not something I really enjoyed. We knew it was coming already. It was good to see something about it since it's been a long time. What are your thoughts?
I like Bayonetta just fine. Like I like the games. I like the world of
Did you
Bayonetta.
play both of them that are out? Damn.
On Wii U.
Yeah, I have them. I have them both on Wii U as well, and I'm on the first one, and it just, I don't know what it is. I just every time I start playing, I just get sleepy and then I get bored.
Just the opposite of what you should feel in like a
I
crazy
just have
action gun game.
I actually, side note, I was talking to one of my friends who I didn't know he played video games. We were talking about video games and how he just said, yeah, I don't play a lot because I have a really addictive personality and I get so involved in games I'm playing and I want to do them 100% and I can't stop playing. And I was like, I feel you, but I am 100% a 180 of you, and I'm the complete opposite. I literally can only play a game for so long, and then I have to play the next fun thing. Like I have such a hard time being like addicted to something. So
Bayonetta, like Platinum's games in general, like if you're going for 100% completion, you are going to be very, very good at that game. The time you're done with it, like it's like I think you get like you have like the CBAS rank, and there's like S plus rank, and then there's Platinum rank, and then Platinum plus rank, and then pure Platinum plus rank. You have to be flawless at these games and everything.
It's a decent game. I kind of like. I also hate like I'm opposite of you. You like to play like the most obscure version of the game, and I like to play the best like possible version. Like I have it on Wii U, and I'm like, well, there's a Switch version now. I should just get that one and play it. But I'm like, I don't play it already. Why would I want to go and buy another one?
It's but yeah, like Bayonetta 3, it was. I think the biggest thing for me with Bayonetta 3 was they had to show it. It was getting to the point where people were like, this game must have been canceled. It's 4 years since they just showed basically a logo, and they showed it. They showed gameplay. It looks like Bayonetta.
It looks cool.
Coming next year. Here's the one thing I wanted to mention. Next year for the Switch is like seriously stacked.
There's a lot. There's a lot just for everything next year. Like
for everything, yeah, because there's
everything just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed. Like some of the big stuff I was looking forward to this year is all being pushed to next year. So it's like it's pretty insane. Like what's gonna be coming out next year?
Uncle, what are you doing?
What better way to walk?
Like I don't know. Like I'm looking at just the Switch games.
One spirit, then
Nintendo Direct, and I'm like, all right, like Pokemon Arceus comes out at the beginning of the year, but I'm probably still going to be playing Diamond and Pearl because those games you don't finish in an afternoon. I'll be playing that, and then there's going to be Kirby in the spring, and then there's going to be Bayonetta 3 at some point, which is probably a summer game, and then there's probably going to be there's Breath of the Wild 2. They already said that's 2022. And I'm like, I'm really running out of places to put these games, and that's not even counting like, all right, well, Halo Infinite comes out at the end of the year. You're going to be playing that a whole bunch.
Unless that gets delayed, but I sure hope it doesn't.
No, they can't. Couldn't possibly. It's on the friggin' box for the Series X.
Yeah, I know, but so wasn't Kina on the box for PS5, and they're letting that get pushed too?
It is not equivalent to Halo.
I know. That's true. That's true. Let me here. Let's jump to the. I know we're getting super sidetracked here, but I now I'm all interested to see like what does at least January look like? So let me look in the releases for January. Oops, I could probably just click on it instead of.
Got all this because I make lists all the time.
Because there is a lot of stuff. January. Oh nope, I want video games, not movies.
I got it.
Okay, I'm so much slower than you are.
So there are 4 games. This is on Wikipedia. There's only 4 games for January. Literally all are I would consider big things. So Elden Ring.
Yep, I see
January
that
21st. Unvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger X2. That is going to be a really good game.
What game is it? You cut out as soon as you said it.
Oh, Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger X2.
What the hell is that? I see it listed here, but what is that?
It's made by Inti Creates, and they basically make Mega Man now. So it's kind of their own, like it's not in the Mega Man universe, but it's a Mega Man style. It looks
Mega Man like. Okay.
Yeah, oh, get this game. The Gunvolt games are really, really good. Get them. You've got Pokemon Legends Arceus, which that's gonna be big. That's and then I'm not personally invested in Rainbow Six Extraction, but it's worth noting. It's not a nothing game.
No, that's a big game. I'm excited for it. You forgot a big title though coming out in January.
I'm reading Wikipedia.
They're missing it though. Hotel
what
Life,
is-
a resort simulator.
Oh my god. How can Game of the Year come out in January? Like it's such a letdown. Everything else that comes after.
Yeah, even February.
And-
I'm just. I know we're getting way off topic, and this is what we always do, but just scrolling through, January is pretty stacked, and that's usually a month that is shit. February, we've got Dying Light 2 is now coming out there because it got pushed. Horizon Forbidden West, a Destiny 2 expansion, whatever. It's still a big deal. Evil Dead the game, Saints Row remake, that Saifu game that they kept showing. Like,
King of Fighters 15 is not.
there's quite a few in just that month alone. Even March is pretty stacked too. It's like every month is gonna have. This is just the big ones. Triangle Strategies in March. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which looks awesome. Marvel's Midnight Suns, which I am insanely excited for. Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out again in March.
Which is funny because it got delayed.
Yeah, the old game,
GTA 5
10-year-old
got
game gets
delayed.
delayed. What a joke.
Gran
Anyways,
Turismo
okay.
7.
Yeah, that too. I see that
Yeah.
too. I feel like
We'll
Gran
have-
Turismo is just always coming out, even though it comes out like very long times. But
You, the listeners, I, Alex, you, Kevin, will have no money next year. It's all games.
it's definitely going
It's
to be a
all
rough
games.
year. Definitely going to be a rough year. Okay, so going back to the last thing here, I know we're
Back to
if
the
you're, if you're
Nintendo
still
Direct.
listening to us, we thank you so much. Sorry that we are just going all over the place, but told you I'm on all kinds of drugs for my allergies and sicknesses, so I'm allowing myself, right?
Come on,
Okay.
Water and clean living.
Well, I had a Dr. Pepper cherry 0 sugar, and it's gone, and I'm like dying of thirst now. Okay, so
Here's up one of these
holy
bad boys.
shit,
These,
that thing is huge. It's the size of your face.
these gallon of water. This is my second time filling it up. Like I'm not
Wow.
going to drink it all again tonight, but
I have one. I have a not that big, but I have one of those like Nelgaline or whatever, like the hipster kids use, and I have the stickers all over it. It's in my fridge though, so I have to probably grab it to drink it. The big thing that everyone kind of knew was kind of coming
Huge.
out, huge,
massive.
but nobody really knew exactly what it was. But we kind of had an idea of what it was. But turns out that there's going to be a new subscription tier added to the Nintendo Online service, and you're going to be able to get N64 games and Genesis games. Yeah, so this is kind of
God.
cool. I don't love it, but I think it's nice. I don't think I will be subscribing to it. I don't think. But then they pulled out the new wireless controller from the N64 and the Genesis that you can purchase. So the thought of having a wireless N64 controller has got me a little bit hyped, I won't lie, because it's kind of cool to have the actual hardware to play the games again.
They're Bluetooth, so you could use them on PC or whatever.
Oh, I didn't even think
If
about
you
that.
happen to have a game you really want to play with an N64 controller.
That
on
is
PC.
actually pretty cool.
I got the I have the Super Nintendo one. I didn't get the NES ones, but I got the Super Nintendo ones, and it feels exactly like a Super. Like they did not skimp on anything. Like everything.
I don't have any of them. I wanted the Super Nintendo one, and I didn't do it. But there's not any
it's
Super
huge.
Nintendo games I really want to play that are on that.
Super Metroid. My God, we'll come back to it.
I
It's all
guess.
full circle.
But it's not Metroid Prime. It doesn't matter. Anyways, the games that are coming out with it, they showed a bunch of games, and some I was pretty surprised that which they were showing. There was actually one I never even heard of. Which,
Let me guess. Let me guess which one.
Yeah, go for it. Guess.
Was it? Got the list here. Is it Winback?
Yeah, like what the hell is that game?
That was such the most random little like they're showing the list of games or like they're showing the montage and I was like, okay, Mario, Zelda, Mario again, Mario again, Mario again. And then they showed Winback and I was like, someone else on Earth remembers that Winback exists?
I don't even know what it is. I knew
Was-
a lot of these games. Like I back in the N64, like I was constantly like at the game store renting games and knowing every title and looking them up and reading magazines. I don't remember this game at all.
Winback
ashamed.
is imagine knockoff Metal Gear Solid.
Is that what it's supposed to be? Okay.
Basically, I mean, like I'm butchering it because it's not exactly
It was a 1999 64 game.
developed by Koei before Tecmo came.
Yeah, it does not look very good. The other games,
Bizarre choice. It is an odd inclusion.
the first games coming out are Super Mario 64, which seems odd since they're selling. Well, they're not selling it anymore. We're selling that game in the tri-pack they had.
They can't. They couldn't be like, oh, we have Nintendo 64, but not Mario 64. Like, it has. To
I
be.
guess. I mean, it's
Kinda
easy
like-
for them just to do it. Mario Kart 64, which, okay, like, I don't know. To me, like,
Fourth best racing game on the Nintendo 64.
yeah, it's kind of how I feel. Especially, like, if I'm playing a Mario Kart, I want to play Double Dash. Like, that, to me, is, like, prime Mario Kart gaming. Star Fox 64, which I've already said I don't like because it's not with a staff. Yoshi's Story.
Oh, Yoshi's Story.
That game's okay.
It's like the problem with Yoshi's Story is that it's not like one big game. Like you have to beat it over and over and over again to see all the levels. Like just getting to the end of the game takes like half an hour.
I remember
like, it's not...
renting that game, and I don't remember playing all the way through it because it was like
no Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island is a map. Yoshi's Story is.
Okay, there is another game I don't know on here. Sin and Punishment. What is that?
Ooh, I love Sin and Punishment. So Sin and Punishment.
Why do I not know that game either?
Because it only came out in Japan back in
okay.
the day.
This would make sense. Because I'm like, I've never heard of that game either.
It's developed by Treasure, and Treasure is a company that's known for like bullet hell shooters. That's what they do.
Okay.
And it's a bullet hell shooter, but you're on the ground running around. So it's kind of like Star Fox 64, and like it's on rails.
Okay.
You're on the ground and you need to dodge and everything. So that actually, this isn't the first time it's leaving Japan. It was on the Wii, and it's on the Wii U Virtual Console.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, really good. And if you'll indulge me for a little show and tell, actually...
Here we go.
Dang. I have to... There it is. So if you've never heard of Sin and Punishment, you definitely didn't know that it's Sin and Punishment 2 came out on Wii.
Oh my god.
And this did come out in North America.
Of course you have that.
Yeah, Sin and Punishment 2 on Wii. There it is. Yeah, no, Sin and Punishment's great. I'm really happy they put it in there. Oh yeah, play that. Play that and win back. Super Metroid.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Not sure about that. Then to go through the rest, we've got Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, which is probably the only game I'd want to play. But then again, it's like, do I really want to play that game without the right thumbstick? Because like that doesn't sound pleasant anymore.
But they put Ocarina of Time on GameCube, and it's fine.
Yeah,
You
but
can use a GameCube. It's all...
Can you play these games with a different controller though, or do you have to use like? How does that work?
Like on Switch Online, you can use any Switch controller.
Oh, really? So I could use a
And you-
Switch Pro
I
controller?
wouldn't- Oh yeah, you can use the Switch Pro controller. You can
I
use the
didn't even know
Joy-Con.
that. I don't think I've actually played any Switch online games at all.
The replica controllers are really just if you want to have the authentic feel. Like they're entirely optional.
I guess I don't know why I thought that I needed to have that. I mean, I want the N64 controller because I think it's cool, but I guess I kept thinking to myself that I would have to have it to play it. But I guess that's not the case. Huh.
No, I can't imagine playing Ocarina of Time on like single Joy-Con, like sideways.
Well, that's what
so
I'm
they're-
worried about. Like, are they going to have access to the right thumbstick, or is this going to be use the L and R buttons to turn the camera type of deal?
Oh, just use both Joy-Con or use a Pro controller. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Ocarina of Time is on GameCube. You can put it up with a GameCube.
Yeah. Good luck finding that.
Do you want me to find it? It's
No.
literally.
So I know you'll find it, but to purchase, good luck.
Here. It's what I found it.
Oh
Twice.
my gosh, here we go.
Got both versions of it.
Mr. Show and Tell over there.
Oh, why else would I buy them?
Let's see what else. Okay, Mario Tennis, Dr. Mario 64, and that was all of them for N64.
It's really funny that I have to say Dr. Mario 64 is on there because Dr. Mario is on the NES side of things, and it's like, wow, the same game. Literally, like it's the same game.
It's whatever. they showed off a bunch of games that are going to be coming. The only game that I will actually play and want to play that I think will still run fine is Paper Mario. That's the only game I saw shown because that game it's a game that I think will still be good today, and I think it'll make me happy to play it because all the Paper Mario games that have come after that, other than the direct sequel, have been kind of a bit of a letdown. So
it's really exciting that Paper Mario 1 is on there, or will be on there, because that was part of the games that are like down the road.
Yeah.
Majora's Mask is going to be one of those two, and that's
I was surprised that wasn't at launch. They didn't say that right away. I thought for sure that would be one of them.
Personal favorite game of all time, so I always have to plug it. But I think the biggest bit of news out of all that was Banjo and Kazooie is on that list. That's Microsoft now. That's rare.
Yeah, that is. I'm wondering if this is a little more Nintendo and Microsoft in bed with each other, trying to do something fancy over here. So I don't know. That was interesting.
It's exciting too because Rare has so many games on the N64. Like, are we going to get Force Gemini? Are we going to get Perfect Dark? Are we going to get Banjo-Tooie Conker's Bad Fur Day? Like,
but this isn't this isn't the first Microsoft game on the Switch either. I mean, they've got Ori and the Blind Forest and the sequel. They got
Ped.
What's that?
Ped.
Yeah. Why can't Minecraft? That's another game they have on there.
Minecraft.
Like, that's the biggest game ever. So I mean, I think maybe in our minds, because we're not thinking like that's like old school Nintendo used to own it, and just because they used to own it, it feels weird that it's there and they don't own it anymore. But I think Microsoft's okay with that because they have a lot of their stuff on the Switch already.
I think the big one that I don't think will happen, but would like the door is open just a little tiny crack, is GoldenEye. GoldenEye can, if they can figure out the licensing hell that is now, get GoldenEye on Switch Online, and Switch Online games have online multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Could have online GoldenEye.
That would be crazy.
It's like part of me thinks we'll get Perfect Dark because it just makes more sense, and like Perfect Dark is the spiritual successor to it, so it kind of makes sense. But, like online GoldenEye, like come on, like that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be very interesting. I have no idea what to expect, but it does open the door for a lot of stuff. I was a little disappointed that we're only at N64, and how long do we have to wait for GameCube games to show up on here? Because that's
5
like,
years.
to me, that's like what I really want to see. But
I think part of the issue with GameCube games though is that they're big enough that Nintendo's like, we'll just port like they'll do Wind Waker HD game. They'll do Twilight Princess.
Then do it. What is taking them so long?
And like even you said you wanted Metroid Prime Trilogy, which is 2/3 of it are GameCube games.
Right, exactly.
Like,
what's taking them so long? Why couldn't they? Like, I wish I could go to the meetings with them and say, what's the reason they haven't done a Twilight Princess port to the Switch? Like, what's stopping them? It isn't money because we know they're rolling in them right now. They must have a strategy, I'm sure. But what is the strategy? I'm so.
Trying to figure out Nintendo's strategy is something that I think people bash their heads against the wall for a long time.
I know, it drives me nuts because it's so.
I would assume
different.
I would assume they were like, look, we've got Skyward Sword, which has never been re-released. We want that to kind of breathe and be its own thing for a bit.
Makes sense.
They'll just say like, if you want to play Twilight Princess, get a Wii U. It's that, or a Wii, or a GameCube. It's on a lot of stuff. So.
Okay, then to finish this off, I know we're running a little long here. The Sega Genesis games, I'll just read these off. I never had a Sega Genesis, so none of these are really that nostalgic for me. But Castlevania Bloodlines, another Castlevania game. Contra Hard Corps, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Echo the Dolphin, which I actually owned an Echo the Dolphin game on my Pico. So that was where I played that.
Pico.
Golden Axe, Gunstar Heroes,
Gunstar Heroes is an amazing game. You all need to play Gunstar Heroes when it comes. It's really, really good.
I will forget and you tell me later. Phantasy Star 4?
Yeah, we'll start with number 4 instead of the that came before it.
That's like a series I've just heard so many things about that I know nothing about. Rystar.
A-Star's really good. It's made by Sonic Team. It's just another platformer made by Sonic Team. It's really
It's
good.
like a little star too. It's kind of cute. Okay. Excuse me. Shining Force, Shinobi 3, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Streets of Rage 2, and Strider.
Strider's good. I mean, it's weird. Like, it's both weird and understandable that they picked Sonic 2 before Sonic 1. Sonic 2 is, like, way better than Sonic 1. But it's kind of weird that we're like, where's the first one? That
That is a little odd.
Genesis it's really strange that it both makes sense and is strange that they went with Genesis, as all these games are, most of them at least, are on Switch. Like, you can get a Genesis Collection cartridge on Switch and have practically all these games. It's kind of like not that exciting. If you really wanted to play these on Switch, you could have before. Like, nothing was stopping you.
I wonder if it was, hey, right now we only have these, like, what, 8 or 9 N64 games ready to go right now. What else can we do to make this deal better? Like, we can quickly throw some Sega Genesis games and get a controller together. I wonder if that's what it was.
Maybe. It's just strange. I'm way more excited for the N64 side of things than I am for the Genesis side of things.
Agreed. Now, our last big question here, and I guess this is kind of what it comes down to, is how much extra money do you think this is going to cost? Is this an extra $5? Is this an extra $10? $15? Like, what are we looking at?
It would. If I had to guess, $10 a month.
How much?
A month more.
You cut out every time you say it.
Oh, jeez. 10.
$10 more. I could see $10 more a month. If it's that price, though, I don't think it would do it. At least not at this point. If Paper Mario shows up, okay, I'm in. And I know it's coming, so it'll be a while.
I mean, $10 a month is $120 a year. You could not get Paper Mario. $10 a month is wrong. That's not what I meant. $10 more a year. This thing is only $20 a year.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Back up. You're right. I kept thinking it was for a month. Yeah, $10 a year, I would be in. You're right. I keep forgetting this isn't a monthly service because Nintendo is a lot cheaper than everything else. Okay, actually, for $10 more a year, I could do it.
I want to have a gripe with all this. They're adding this expansion pack. They're adding new consoles and games to this, which is fine. I like that, but that's the perks. Like, if you're gonna charge more for this service, are you actually making the service better? Because Switch Online is still not great. Like, playing games online. I mean, Smash Brothers drops all the time. Splatoon 2 drops all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We still don't have a way to message friends. Voice chat is still through the phone. So it really does feel to me like they're using oh wow, look at nostalgia. Put on your nostalgia glasses, everyone. We got old games, and it's like, yeah, but like we get features for the new games that we're paying $60-$70 a pop for instead.
It's just sad because it's still selling really well. That's the problem. Like, if the Switch was struggling, they'd want to make it better, but if it's making money, why do anything? Same thing with Grand Theft Auto. They don't want to make the next one because they're still milking this one. Like, why would we spend all this money? I don't know.
So that's my gripe with this. Like, they were showing and talking about the expansion pack, and they showed the new consoles. I was like, cool, and they just stopped talking about it. I was like, wait, that's it? Like, you're not like adding anything else? Like, that's a little bit of a bummer to me. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I like having a more convenient way to play some of these games. That doesn't cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but
I don't know.
It's not thrilling to me. It's not like, oh my god, Nintendo 64, win back! Holy crap, I get to play win back.
Exactly. Yeah, win back. Excuse me. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I know there's still rumors of either Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance games coming out later this year also, so TBD on that.
I mean, if they just keep piling on retro consoles, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, this is stupid. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but like, when are you going to take our money and put it into an actual voice chat solution on the Switch? Like, where is that?
I mean, if they had it, would you even use it, though? Would you be like calling your friends and using it?
For certain games, absolutely. Like Animal Crossing, absolutely. Splatoon 2, absolutely.
Okay.
Smash Brothers, no, because that would be very toxic all the time, I think.
Yeah, people just yelling at
But
you.
there are games that I think it would be better in. I would.
Okay.
Would use it.
Interesting. All right, I think that's a wrap here. I think that was everything that we wanted to go over for the most part, and then some more. So
Sorry, Monster Hunter fans, didn't touch on your
I
expansion.
didn't even talk about that.
I have nothing to say about it.
I had nothing to say about it. There's an expansion pass coming out later, so yay. Yeah, if we missed something about it, tweet at us, let us know, tell us how bad we are and you hate us.
I don't think we missed a whole lot. I actually watched this direct twice because I was so tired the first night. I was like, I'll rewatch it the next day. I think we got everything. Dying Light.
Yeah, that was unique, but I don't really care. I mean, it's an old game coming to Switch. The first one
The
coming.
new one.
The new one's
Second
coming
one.
by streaming though, and that's
Yes, it's not real. Yeah, I get it.
that's yeah. I don't know. I feel like that results may vary type of a thing.
Yes.
But all right, well, thank you guys for joining us for episode 39 for the Nintendo Direct.
39.
What's
Almost
that?
almost old enough to hire. I don't have a joke.
That was pretty bad. All right.
That was awful.
You
Horrible
guys,
way.
thanks for watching. We will see you guys soon. Take it easy. Bye.